Good evening, gentlemen and lady. Hello. You're right there, Maxine. Very good. Now, you guys, you've been in a few films.
Yes.
Seth and Paul together. So, are you friends in life, or is it just a work thing?
We are very intimate in life.
Okay.
Very good friends. Yes, very good friends in real life.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
It feels weird to be sitting here
On a
next
talk
to you,
show with
on a
you,
talk show,
yeah.
and I have nothing. We have nothing to do with each other's film.
No, we have nothing to do with each other. I specifically want his movie to fail, which is what's weird.
It's war.
It is. There's no business
It
here.
won't fail.
I don't think it will.
No, I don't
That's
think
why
it
it's
will.
okay.
Because Paul and Martin, you're in the film together, so presumably you know each other.
No.
I've been a big fan of Martin's for many years, and I was so excited to meet you. But it's a little strange because I'm meeting you now for the very first time, sitting next to you on this show.
Apparently we're in the same film. You wouldn't necessarily know that.
But was the shoot so long that your paths never crossed, or?
Yeah. I mean, my path didn't cross with an awful lot of people in that film. I saw it for the first time today, and would you two listen, or...?
Sorry, they were distracted by food. They were like, oh, there's a beer here.
I know this story. I just...
We welcome you into our country. Yes, no...
As you were saying...
Yeah, this will help me sleep. And now, Seth and Paul, you may not know where Maxine's from, but it is generally accepted to be the Hollywood of the North.
Ooh.
Bolton. No, you grew up with stars.
Oh, I did, yes. I was a lifeguard with Paddy McGuinness, who I'm sure you've heard of.
Yeah.
And Peter Kay was the projectionist at the local cinema.
Is that true?
That's true. Yeah. Vernon Kay used to stack shelves at a well-known superstore.
Well, he's built for it, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a place to be.
All the stars. And Maxine, when it comes to, like, you know, red carpets and things, do you like all of that?
Not really. I never get invited to anything.
Oh, you do? You know, glamorous
Not really.
opening nights. When you do an opening night, you have to pop a frock on.
See, I'm the opposite. I'd rather just not... You know, you could see I couldn't even manage to get up the stairs in these shoes.
Well, no...
Jeans and a pair of trainers, you know, if you're lucky.
But you always wear nice jeans and trainers.
Thank you.
You've got an eye for what you wear.
Yeah, but it's comfy casual.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. Well, you should have just worn trainers.
I know, but I was trying to make an effort. I was trying to look, you know, slightly sophisticated and not so northern.
Well, you're sitting now.
Yeah.
We won't ask you to stand again. Just sit, put your hand, look lovely.
I can't even pick that up, you know.
Oh!
Would you like me to pass it?
Well, I'm a bit...
I'll tell you what,
I'm
I'll wait till
far
one of
too
these
nervous.
fuckers is talking.
There you go. Yeah.
That was no good moment. That was no good moment.
Right, Seth. Seth is currently starring in Bad Neighbours 2, Sorority Rising, which is out next Friday, May the 6th. This is all true. It's your film.
It is true.
Now, here's an extraordinary truth. Bad Neighbours, the first Bad Neighbours, took $270 million.
Yeah.
Well, no surprise they made another one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously most people saw First Bad Neighbours, where you were living next door to Zac Efron and the fraternity.
Yes.
So what happens this time? Who are your neighbours this time?
A group of 18-year-old girls are our neighbors who are trying to start a sorority, which is kind of the female version of a fraternity, which they don't have here. 18-year-old girls are frightening. They scare me a lot. I'm very uncomfortable around them. I don't know what to say around them. So it was a horrifying experience overall for me.
Because you do have long scenes where they're just in wet bikinis and
Yes.
things, and yeah.
It's hard. I mean, I shouldn't. It wasn't. It was difficult.
It was difficult.
It was difficult.
People don't get it. Acting's hard.
But the last time, when I think you were here to talk about the first one, and
It's so embarrassing to do press in front of someone you know.
The last time you were talking about the first one, where you had a baby,
Yes.
played by twins, obviously, but there was one baby, and it got to see terrible things and hear
Yes.
terrible language. But you kind of thought, oh, baby won't get it. But this time it's a toddler.
Yes, this time I think she got it.
No,
Which is,
because who are the parents? Who's letting this happen?
The parents are very nice, well-paid people. Who, yeah, there's a running joke in the movie where our daughter plays with a pink dildo, essentially.
She is holding a dildo.
Yeah, and it's...
I was like, wow, how much did they pay those parents?
They can afford therapy for their daughter one day, which is a good thing, because she'll probably need it.
And is she twins?
That one is not twins. She is one of twins. Yeah.
How old is that little girl?
I think they're like 3.5 or something. I never talked to them, ever. I was very mean to them.
You don't want your name coming up in therapy.
I said, this is Hollywood, kid. You don't talk to number one. You hold your dildo and you sit there.
We've got a clip. This is the former bad neighbor, Zac Efron, who's also in the film.
Yes.
And this is him becoming a force for good.
Yeah. Nice wordplay.
You know, you're very happy in your heterosexuality, but even you could appreciate Zac Efron's body.
It's freakish. Yeah. It's truly unbelievable. He's even better looking now. That's from the first movie. That's an old picture. That's garbage compared to what he looks like now.
But you see now, how did you have time to make a film? Because you must be in the gym all the time.
He's in a constant state of exercising. I'm sure you've seen this on the Marvel movies, where it's like there's a constant exercising happening. Like, at all moments, he's exercising. And I do the equal thing for not exercising. I'm the inverse ratio of that. Yeah.
No, you went for the easy option in the film. You just did that.
Yeah, exactly. That's how they do it. That's how they all do it. That's how that whole 300 movie. That's
it looks like Homer Simpson.
Yeah, dude.
It looks like Homer's face.
Yeah. Looks like Homer and a lobster lying on my body.
No, because Martin, did you have a similar thing with Love Actually, where suddenly people were going, oh?
Not with that face. No.
Going, oh!
I see. I never knew that was what was beneath those T-shirts and jeans. No, I guess the point with Love Actually was it was not meant to be sexy. It was meant to be kind of innocent and so it wasn't that. You know, when you do sex scenes where you are giving that, you know, when you're acting that, that's a little bit more vulnerable making. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit more because, you know, inevitably you're kind of giving away some of your own state secrets there, you know. Whereas I wasn't, you know, whereas in Love Actually it was dialogue. Do you know what I mean? It was like the funny bit about it was that it was two very ordinary people. It wasn't meant to be turning anyone on, you know.
Okay.
So if it did, shame.
Sorry. You blew it, man.
I think we've got a picture of you in it. What the... I wasn't expecting to see that.
I'm naked at other parts. Yeah. Well, not fully naked. You get a little purse. You do, though, don't you? You get a little purse and...
change purse, yeah.
Yeah, and it's more humiliating.
Sorry. Oh, is that what you call it?
And the woman gets a strip.
Yeah.
Maybe, sometimes.
Depends who you're working for.
Yes.
Because Maxine Peake, now, in terms of fitness, oddly, it was the late, great Victoria Wood, who encouraged you to get fit.
Yeah, though, look at that.
Oh.
Yeah. No, she... at school, I was quite a large teenager. And we sort of had a little chat, and she was so amazing. And she just sort of said to me, look, you know, you're fat, you're blonde, you're northern, you're going to get typecast. You know, and she was being really honest, because it sort of said what she felt she'd experienced. So, you know, and I'd been told at drama school, if you don't lay off the chips, you'll never play Juliet. To which I went, I don't want to play Juliet.
Have you tasted chips?
But when somebody like Victoria Wood says that to you, sort of take notice. So I did, but unfortunately I did it a bit too quick and I lost it between the two series of Dinner Ladies, which I should have probably waited. But yeah.
How long had you been out? Sorry.
No, please, Mark,
no,
please,
can you
Mark.
shut up?
This would be a good question.
Mate, there's a time and a place to interrupt.
Yeah.
No, how long had you been out of drama school before you did Dinner Ladies?
I was still at drama school.
Oh, were you?
Yeah,
right.
So, yeah.
That was a very good early doors
It was amazing.
kind of, yeah.
I mean, you're sort of spoiled to work with somebody of the calibre of Victoria,
amazing.
and, you know, she's... Yeah, it's been such sad news, you know. She was such an inspiration, even from working with her, but then even as a youngster growing up, that's who I sort of want, you know, Woods and Walters were, you know, wanted to be. That was a career you wanted to emulate, so...
But I do like that you took her advice, but then you had to wear a fat suit for
yes, and
series
then
two.
got me a fat suit, yeah. She was a bit like, whoa, a minute, wait a minute. I've just written a second series that we think you might be pregnant because you've got fatter. And you're 4 stone lighter, so they made me a fat suit.
Paul, you, honestly, it is weird. You don't seem to age. Does he?
Thank you. I feel awful on the inside. Greatly.
When we first met, I looked younger, and now I think I could be his father.
To be fair, though, Seth, when we met, you were 15 and you looked like you were 37.
I did, yeah. I was like 20 years old.
But no, because often when people grow beard, well, clearly I do, but, you know, they are grey or have grey in them. But even yours, beautiful, beautiful beard.
Thank you, thank you. Well, it's starting to come in a little bit right there in the chin.
Oh, please. But actually, we've got a picture of you at Kansas University. I don't know how old you were here, but look how
18,
beautiful you are.
As you can see, I don't just grow hair on my face.
Oh, look how happy you are.
I remember taking that picture, and I worked on my hair. I worked on that. I was greatly inspired by Michael Hutchence, who was my hero at the time, and I think I tried to blow it dry, and it came off looking a little more Bon Jovi than I anticipated.
There's a whiff of Julia Roberts off you. You're just beautiful. Just beautiful in that picture.
Big toothy smile.
Yeah. Hey, but he's a superhero now, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Ant-Man. Ant-Man. Paul Rudd is in Captain America Civil War alongside Martin. It opens tonight. So, why does the Civil War... who are both of you?
What?
Who are you in this film? Why is it a Civil War?
Well, I mean, I need a little bit more introduction than Paul, because Paul is actually a superhero. But I am Everett Ross, and he works for the government, and part of his remit is to kind of keep the superheroes in check a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. When did you stop listening?
No, well, I wasn't listening very hard because I knew. I've seen the film. I've seen the film, yes.
Yeah.
So there's a civil war between the Avengers. Discuss.
When you read this, what did you think? It was like
that state of affairs comes around within the film, and I saw it today. I saw it today for the first time.
Yeah.
And it's a really good film, isn't it?
It's great.
And I don't
No,
know.
it really is,
It's not meant to sound that smart,
Yeah.
but it was so... You are invested in the characters. The action, of course, is amazing, as you would expect. But I really got it. I really understand everyone's motivation.
Good jokes.
Some good jokes. But proper high stakes, eh?
Yeah, and there are two camps with differing opinions about how they should move forward. Should these group of superheroes be regulated, because there's a lot of collateral damage from saving the world, and then there's another side that feels they shouldn't have any kind of government supervision. You understand both sides of the argument, and I think that makes it interesting.
And as we say earlier, you didn't meet making the film, and that becomes obvious as we watch this clip that Martin's not in.
There's a lot of those.
But Paul is. I think one of you's in it, so hey. This is Paul Rudd as Ant-Man meeting the other members of his team. I heard you talking, Paul, about that actually, when you got to set, you were a bit like that. You were kind of fangirling around the Avengers.
Yeah. You know, after we shot Ant-Man, but I was alone on that. It was like working in a bubble, pretty much. And then all of a sudden, I'm standing around and seeing Robert Downey Jr. in the Iron Man suit, and seeing Chris Evans, and they're all there. I've seen the movies, and I felt like I was 10 years old. It was crazy. It was pretty cool.
Did you really do the touching the arm thing?
Yeah. I saw Sebastian Stan getting his arm, the silver arm, on, and it was I was watching somebody bathing. I'm not supposed to see this, but I did. I went over and I just kind of was getting changed. I felt the arm, and Chris Evans had to run to the bathroom really quick, so he asked the prop guy. He goes, "Could you just hold this?" He was holding his shield. And he ran off, and I said, run around, and it was like, wow, it's heavier than I imagined. But, you know, it's made of vibranium. Of course, it's going to be heavy.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, it was pretty cool, I must say.
And I've got a picture of Martin in his costume.
Here we go.
But as you were saying, you're now being fed into the universe. You're going to be in some more of these Avenger movies.
Yeah, please God, yeah. Yes, I think that's the plan. Yeah. That's the plan.
And
but,
your team...
It's a fairly... Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But it's a fairly small role at this stage.
And listen, we just must very quickly mention Sherlock, because you're back filming that right now,
yes,
aren't you?
I am.
Yeah. They like Sherlock. Now,
Thank you.
see, that response, lovely in a studio, but when you're out and about filming Sherlock,
yes,
is it like that all the time?
No, it has occasionally been like when we do our exteriors for what our fake Baker Street is in the West End. It can be a little bit like that, but we've tried to sort of say to them in the most respectful, loving way that we need this is not a kind of live gig. You know what I mean? It needs to be quite small and focused, but you're doing that in front of hundreds of people. Over
you're going to be like, can't hear you.
yeah, it's a funny. It's almost sometimes like a cross between doing film and theatre.
And how many are you doing this time?
Same amount, 3.
3. And when will they be out?
2029. I don't know. Next year, I imagine January or Christmas.
Yeah. OK, excellent. Yeah. Now, Paul Rudd, is this the first time your children are going to be able to see one of your films?
Yes, Ant-Man was the very first one that they got to see, and they're excited about seeing Civil War, which is weird. They knew that I was an actor in theory. They've never shown any interest in anything that I've done. I'll be honest with you, they're showing a little bit of interest in this, but yeah, it was the first thing.
Because how many kids have you got? 2?
2.
And being a parent, it's difficult, and I believe there's been times when you haven't pitched things correctly. You've got things slightly wrong.
That's true, yeah. Just recently, I thought, oh, you know what? I'm going to really do the family thing. I'm going to surprise my kids with a trip to Disney World, which was great. But I thought, oh, this is going to be really fun. And I sat them down and I was very serious. And I said, guys, you're not going to be able to go to school next Wednesday. Mom and I are going to take you out of school because we are going to Disney World. And they were so freaked out by my tone that they were not excited. My daughter started crying out of relief, and my son said, "Oh my God! I thought you were going to tell us that somebody had passed on." And so I was so excited about the joyous reaction, and I realized, oh yes, that's a parental lesson right there. Don't make it about me.
Because Maxine, now some of the parts you've played over the years didn't thrill your family.
No.
No, because Shameless was quite out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, Shameless. Everyone knows Shameless. Was it your mom had the real problem with Shameless?
Yeah, she did. Yeah, when people used to say, "Oh, what have you been in?" She'd go, "Dinner, ladies." That was all she was proud of. Shameless was a little bit too much, topless ironing and for anybody. If anybody's mum, not even mine, would have been,
other people's mothers.
So, yeah.
Because Seth Rogen...
Yes.
Your parents... No, your parents, it's lovely. They're very supportive.
They are.
I think we've got a picture of your mum, Sandy.
That's my mom.
Mom Sandy. Now, is she Mrs. Rogen?
She is, yeah.
Mrs. Rogen.
Mrs. Sandy Rogen. Yeah.
And now this is cool. Like, what a cool mother she is. Because you tweeted a link to a video you did. You tweeted this thing, want to know how to roll a joint? Let me teach you. You did do this.
I taught people how to roll joints. It's community service, technically, so yeah.
You care too much.
Exactly, and it knocked a few hours off my sentence, so that...
And very sweetly, Mrs. Rogen, your mom, tweeted this. That's so great. So proud of your great abilities.
She's proud of me.
No, but please tell me, is this tattoo fake? Here's a picture of your mom.
Oh, this is horrific. Yes, thank God that is fake. I genuinely do not like looking at that picture. There's something so weird.
That was made Knocked Up, right?
No, it was, I don't know what it's from.
It was made on Knocked Up because we all had them.
I think it might be, yeah. There was a point where that was a thing, I guess. But my mom put it on her upper breast, which is horrific to say. And it's horrible. It looks like something a prisoner would send me.
What happened, Mom?
Why, Mom?
But now, your mom seems, you know, she tweets, she's good at technology.
She does.
But lots of examples out there of parents not quite getting the hang of texting. I don't know if these are real, but they're out there, and they're quite funny. So here are some of them. So there's a mother texting somebody. I think there's something wrong with my phone. I don't think my texts are going through. Yeah, they're getting through. How can you be sure? Now, so many parents do this one. This is somebody texting their mom. I got an A in chem. WTF, well done. Mom, what do you think WTF means? Well, that's fantastic.
It should be.
And those are tricky. But then, this is so sweet. So a mom, because I didn't know for a long time how to use emojis, but the mother's found emojis, and she's delighted with herself. Off she goes. Oh, geez, little chocolate kiss. With eyes watching over you. It's a poop with eyes, Mom. And then the dreaded predictive text, which that's not just parent, that's the bane of all our lives. This is from to a father. I heard Mom got stung by a few bees this morning. Is she okay? Hospital? She's okay now. No hospital. She had to take the deep penis. So what? I had to inject her with an epic penis. Oh, for Christ's sake, EpiPen! Well done, the parents. Very good. But now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for some culture on this show, because Maxine Peake brings us A Midsummer Night's Dream by William Shakespeare. It's out next month on BBC One as part of their Shakespeare season, and it's proper BBC One. It's a big, kind of accessible version of the play, isn't it?
Yes, Russell T Davies has done the adaptation. So it's fantastic, and it's, as you would imagine from Russell, it's fun, it's irreverent, it's, you know, it's quite anarchic. And, and it's the Doctor Who studio, so there's lots of special effects and...
And you're Titania?
I'm Titania,
Like,
yes.
Oh, there you are,
There
Titania.
I am.
Yes. Yeah. And it's quite the look, but you came to set with that look, I hear.
Well, not... I've been doing...
Just driving by. Model's own.
I've been doing a play in Manchester, The Scriker by Carol Churchill, and I was playing this sort of malevolent fairy, and I had sort of shaved... It was a very attractive look. I had sort of shaved hair and a nice mullet. I looked like I should have worked on the waltzers, you know. And so Russell came to see it and offered me the part and went, oh, keep the hair. And I was like, oh, you're joking. So for ages I had this slightly horrendous haircut that they used to wet shave every morning. And people used to go, oh, is your head cold? I go, no, it's absolutely boiling, because I don't know when you have it that close shaven. It was just the heat emitting from having... I don't know, maybe not. Maybe she's just doing it really badly. Maybe she put a bit of deep heat on it.
It wasn't shaving foam.
So it's a good introduction, maybe, to people who wouldn't normally turn on to Shakespeare, or youngsters, just to, you know, get with the spirit of it. And it's quick, and it's economic, and it's fun. Yeah.
And lots of famous faces. Matt Lucas is your bottom.
Matt is my bottom.
Hey. No, there he is, yes.
I get to slip him the tongue.
Yeah, you do, don't you?
I think he said it's the first sort of roll around he's had on set with a lady. I think it was his first on screen. I could be wrong. I'm sure he was saying that I don't think he'd done a sex scene before. Really? I said, well, I'm off done loads of them, sweetheart. Just put your hand there. And
yeah, mine must strip.
Yeah, he was lovely. He was, yeah.
Oh. Well, look, we've got a clip. This is basically the famous scene, Titania's first appearance.
OK. You're very kind.
I'm loving it, yeah. And was that in real forest? 'Cause you
That
could see
was
your
a real
breath.
forest,
You could see your
actually.
breath and everything, yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. It was about 5 o'clock in the morning in somewhere outside of Bristol. But yeah, we did. It was beautiful, actually. It was one of those forests that you sort of arrived and went, it felt like, it was so sort of perfect. It could have been a set. But the majority of it was in, we filmed at Cardiff.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, less idyllic, but
Yeah.
lovely, I'm sure. And Paul, you have done Shakespeare.
Yeah, I have. I was in the movie Romeo and Juliet with Leonardo DiCaprio and I did Twelfth Night at Lincoln Center in New York.
Now, is that the picture? Because I feel bad, but it's just you in some purple pants. But is that you in Twelfth Night?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. Just as the bard intended it.
I hope he's wearing purple Speedos.
That was a production Sir Nicholas Heitner directed, and that's with Helen Hunt.
Is she over there, not looking?
Yeah, they're not looking.
Smartly
shielding her eye.
So, Maxine, so in this, you're acting with a donkey in the woods and everything.
Yes, yes.
Remember that bit?
Yes,
yeah. Donkey. Yeah. But Seth Rogen, you've worked with an actual tiger.
I did, yeah.
But like a real tiger, or like
A real tiger, yeah. It was very counterintuitive, I'll be honest. Yeah, I made a movie called The Interview that almost started a war. You might have heard of it.
That must have been the oddest time for you.
It was a horrible experience,
Yeah.
yes. It's bad to be blamed for almost starting a war. It's not fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super weird.
You know, because you must be just getting on with your life and kind of, hey, we made a silly comedy. And,
Yeah.
and
then the president was talking about it.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah, it was really bizarre. I had personal security, and then one day they just went away. I was like, I guess I'm safe now. Yeah, but there was a tiger.
In your house and everything.
Well, the studio provided the filmmakers with security in case someone from North Korea was going to kill us, I guess. And then literally one day, they were just gone. And we didn't get no one. I called everyone else. I was like, is your guy still there? They're like, no, my guy's gone. And I was like, maybe this is it. This is the attack. But it wasn't. The studio just didn't want to pay for security anymore. And
So no one rang you to say,
by
"We're
the way,
leaving."
yeah, no, it was literally just one morning I came out, was like, hey, oh no, he's not there anymore. Yeah, and I thought maybe a North Korean had taken him out. But no, instead Sony just didn't want to pay for him anymore. But yeah, it was a weird experience.
But part of the weirdness was you actually wrote a scene.
Yeah.
You wrote this.
Yes.
With a real tiger.
I wrote, yes, and we thought we'd be able to use visual effects like in Life of Pi and have a computer-generated tiger, and then we realized that we had no money, and so we had to get a real tiger from Toronto. I asked the guy.
Nicer tiger.
I actually asked the guy where the tiger came from, and he said he got it from a stripper, which is crazy.
That's quite the act.
It was quite. That's what I said.
It's
Like
hard
a
to
stripper
tip,
and a
though.
tiger. Yeah, exactly. And don't touch her. And the tiger trainer, God bless him, if you were to make a list of things you did not want to hear a tiger trainer say, he systematically ticked every single thing on that list. He would be like, well, we'd be like, is it safe? He'd be like, well, they are killing machines, you know. Okay, that's cool. And he's like, so we're like, is this going to be okay to shoot? He's like, yeah. You don't plan on shooting this at night, do you? And we're like, yeah, it's at night. He's like, well, they hunt at night. So, and we're like, is it more dangerous at night? And he's like, it's around 30 to 40% more dangerous. And we're like, 30 to 40% more than what? Like, what's our baseline tiger level of danger? He's like, as long as it's not in a big open space. And we're like, it is in a big open space. And then we were just like, should we not do this? Like, should we just not do it? And there was, I'm not joking, 15 seconds of silence. And he goes, no, we can do it. And then the trainer's son, who was 18 years old, was the guy who was training it. And because we were like, why is your 18-year-old son doing it? He's like, he has a much better relationship with the tiger. And there was one moment where he got in a fight with his dad while they're holding the tiger. And he's like, shut up, Dad, I'm doing this. And we're just like, there's a fucking tiger here. No one got killed by the tiger.
Hooray! Happy ending. And film sets, I mean, that film's got to be exciting in that, but they often be quite boring, all the waiting around that has to be done. And now, Martin, in The Hobbit, was it you and Aidan Turner
Oh, Christ.
that you found a way to while away the many hours you must have spent in New Zealand?
I mean, I like to engender good feeling, you know, if we're waiting around, if we're hanging around. And I said to Aidan, OK, if there's a gun at your head, shall I say this?
What?
Whatever I'm going to say.
Do it then.
I had a baby with a dildo.
That's true.
And that's in his film. It wasn't even an accident.
That wasn't even an anecdote. It was written in by someone. No, and so we were hanging around and we were in a very beautiful part of New Zealand where there was a sort of mountain over there and lovely sort of big plains of lush green grass. And it was like a picturesque, it was like a postcard of how beautiful New Zealand can be. But I said, OK, Aidan, if there was a gun at your head, you've got to do one of these two things. You've got to either walk away from this scene, not saying anything to Peter Jackson or anybody else. You just got to walk away and go until you reach that mountain, right? And not say anything to anyone. And when they say, "Where's Aidan?" He's got a line. You'll just be fired. That's your career. That's over because no one will have explained it, and that be certainly this job over, and your name won't be. You know, you wouldn't have done Poldark, that's for sure.
No.
Or you've got to. Or you've got to masturbate to completion just in front of everyone here. And again, don't say anything about it. There's no introduction. There's no caveat. It's just you've got to do one of the. If there was a gun at your head, which one would you do? And he thought about, and he chose the B. He chose B. Just because he figured he wouldn't get fired, but he would get fired.
I don't think he's getting Poldark after that either.
You should be fired for that.
Yeah, I mean, if there's one thing I believe, it's you should be fired for wanking on set.
Yeah.
I'm all against that. I'm dead against that.
And were you an A or B?
I want that on the record.
Were you A or B?
I think I might have chosen the mountain, because I don't want to masturbate on set. I don't want to. Well, because people look down on it. People say it's harassment and all that shit, yeah.
In Hollywood, you're more likely to keep working after masturbating on set.
I won't ask you, Maxine.
What, about masturbating
No,
on
I
set?
won't. No.
It's too long a story.
How do you think you got through
But Paul Rudd, in the Ant-Man movie, you went to extraordinary lengths to amuse yourself. Or were you trying to amuse other people or just yourself? Actually, this is quite close to that.
Yeah, I think this is a perfect segue.
What did you do?
Well, I was working opposite Michael Douglas in Ant-Man, and, you know, he's a legend, and I could never completely relax in front of him, even though he was very nice and cordial and sweet, and finally it was his last day of shooting, and I thought, I want to be buddy-buddy with the guy. I want him to think that I'm cool, and I thought it would be funny if, while it was on his close-up, I could somehow recreate that scene from Basic Instinct. Sitting across from him, so I didn't tell him, but I also didn't tell anybody. And before, you know, we filmed the scene, I unzipped my jeans and, you know...
Unfurled?
Unfurled, yeah. Not much about unfurling, but I unfurled, technically, and I sat down. I guess I didn't really take into account when I'm sitting in a chair, everything kind of like my boxer shorts, everything kind of... So, while he's doing his scene, I'm trying to re-unfurl while holding my T-shirt over everything so that he wouldn't see it. And as I'm doing it, he's saying his line, and it looked as if I was doing exactly what Martin says he would never do on set.
Oh, God. You picked option B.
As I'm trying to uncross my legs and it's like trying to... And he's such a pro. He didn't stop his monologue. Flicked his eyes down real quick, looked back at me, and then just finally stopped in the middle and said, "What are you, a fucking pervert?" And in that moment, I thought, this didn't play out as I had anticipated. And
You sexually assaulted
I
Michael
did.
Douglas.
And it was the whole thing just kind of, you know, blew up in my face. I guess it did.
Right, it is time for music. This Grammy-nominated singer is only 19 years old and has already released 3 albums and sold over 10 million records worldwide. Here performing Wild Horses, please welcome Birdie. Have a seat, do. Look at you in your glittery clothes. How are you?
I'm very well, thank
Oh,
you.
excellent. Now, that is from the album Beautiful Lies,
Yes.
which is out now, I believe.
It is, yeah.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
19, that's your 3rd album. That seems crazy.
It has been a weird 5 years. It's gone so quick. I started when I was 14, so I've literally just been travelling and...
Oh, successful young people. Ugh. No, well done. I'm sure for you. 10 million records. She's 19 years old. No, that is fantastic. And aren't you in the middle of a tour right now?
Yes, I am. I've popped home quickly.
And it ends on the... Is it the 10th of May? It ends in London at the Roundhouse?
Yeah, at the Roundhouse.
Fantastic. Well, listen, thank you so much for coming to see us. That is a beautiful song.
Thank you so much.
Everybody loves it.
Thank you.
Birdie, everybody. Very good. Sometimes this happens, and it happened tonight. We don't have time for red chairs. I'm very sorry. Oh, be quiet. So, please say a huge thank you to my guest tonight. Birdie, everybody. Maxine Peake. Martin Freeman. Paul Rudd. Mr. Seth Rogen. Join me next week with Hollywood legend John Malkovich, the King of Cool Samuel L. Jackson, and man of the moment Tom Hiddleston. I'll see you then. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.